Welcome back. The first thing I wanted to show today is how to resize this window in DromEd because a larger window can make it easier to work with. So we'll go ahead and close it and go to DromEd.config in your Thief2 directory. Scroll down and you'll see I have mine enabled at a larger size. By default, DromEd will look more like this. So to make that larger, all we do is close DromEd, go back to the DromEd.config, put the semicolons, and go to a different larger option. I have 1280 by 1024. You can choose the option that works best for your computer. Okay, so let's open up our mission. And what you'll notice is I'm facing down on the screen, which I believe is south. What I want to do is turn this around so I'm facing north when I load the mission. So to do that, I'll take our starting point, select it, and change the heading 180 degrees down here in this box in the other direction. So after I save, I can close DromEd and show that next time I start and load my mission, I will now be facing the opposite direction. Okay, so let's talk about the grid here. Very important when you're building out the world that you adjust the grid size to an appropriate level and snap your brushes to the grid. So what I'm going to start with is a grid size of 14 for building out the world. And what you'll notice if I hold shift and drag the brush, it'll snap onto the grid. And you will always want your brushes to be snapped onto the grid if possible. So let's build out the rest of the world. This is where you can get creative and do a little bit of art. Use your imagination and have some fun and build the world you want. So I'm going to start by cloning the existing brush and moving it up here. It snaps onto the grid and reportalize, and you notice I've now doubled the size of this area. These are called airbrushes. You see it says fill air down here. There's different types. Once you create an airbrush, for example, you can drag a new brush in and it'll create the brush. And now I can change the type to a fill solid. So what happens there is I portalize, and now you have a solid brush inside. So what we need to do is build another room brush here, and that'll give sound, and we will build the room. Now let's take this solid brush I have and manipulate it. I'm going to give it a height of 1, and I'm going to drag it down, and we'll make this the base of a little simple house. As you saw, my grid size is 14, so it actually expanded the size of the brush. So what I want to do is go to 13 so I can have a height of 1. Now when I drag it, it'll snap onto the grid and stay this height of 1. So this will be maybe the foundation of a new house. What I can do is change the foundation to a different style of texture, and we can build on that. So let me actually make this appropriate. I'll make it a cement, and we will build another brush on top of it. I'll clone the existing one again and make the height maybe 10. Drag up here. Let's build that, portalize. We'll change the texture again to something else. Double click, reportalize, see if it takes the texture. There it goes. Alright, we got a simple house. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to expand the foundation a little bit and make it better than just a square. Let's make the width maybe 24. Drag this over, and clone this brush. Drag it over here. Depth, maybe, let's do 10. The width, maybe 6. Put it here, and portalize. There we go. Now we got a little step over here. And actually I want this part maybe 12. And this a little wider. So that'll go to 12 too, I think. Let's drag that over. Tools, portalize. Alright. That's pretty good. Now let's clone this and make hollow. We'll hollow this out. Clone. Let's do 12 by 10 and fill air just like that. Okay, so the inside will be hollowed out. Clone this. We'll go 8 by 10 and drag this over. It actually needs to be 12. Alright, portalize. There we go. Good. Let's clone this one more time and go 4 by 8 for the door. Most doors are going to be 4 by 8 in Thief. And I'm doing this wrong. There we go. Make a little door. There we go. There we go. Tools, portalize. Why can't I see it? Because it's solid. There we go. Let's go in the world and see. Why is this? Oh, because these are solid brushes. It used to be an airbrush. Duh. There we go. Now we got that. Little house without a roof. Cool. Okay, so let's build a roof. What we're gonna need is a wedge brush. I'll drag that, and you see it's kind of a new shape. What we're gonna want for this house is 26 by 8 by 4, and we're gonna need to move this 90 degrees for the back. I'll drag this up here, and it's gonna go to the top of the house. And now what we can do is clone that for the other side and turn it around 270 degrees and drag that here. And now you'll see little roof shape. It would help if I do fill solid. Alright, that needs to be the right texture. So we want to add a city texture family, and now we have new textures available. So we can make a roof-like texture. Okay, so that's cool. Let's add a couple posts and a door. Make sure you have a cube selected. Let's make this 10 high, 1 by 1. We'll drag this over here and drag it down and pick a new texture. Let's try that one. Fill solid, portalize. There we go, there's a little post, and we'll make another one. Let's do this. All right, here. Snap it onto the grid. That's good. And let's do a little window too for this house. I'm going to clone the door since that's almost what we need and do 4x4. And we'll drag it right here. There we go. There's a window. So that's pretty good for our house. Okay, let's add some little lights and landscaping to the level. So we'll start with lights. Go to Object Hierarchy, Lights, Extinguishable Torches. So what we'll do is add a torch to the wall here by the door that we can put out with the water arrow, and we can make the height different. Let's do -1 to bring it down a bit. Object Hierarchy, go back and get a street light right here. You can add that near the house, and let's do a light inside. Let's do a wall light, electric wall light. There we go. Now we can turn back on the lighting and see what we got. Cool. And for the landscaping, what we want is some brushes. Let's make it height 1. Drag it to the ground. We're gonna want, let's do 40 depth to match this. We'll do width is gonna be about 16. Clone that. Toggle lighting again. Let's see, that's fill solid. Fill solid. Realize. Let's fix it to some bricks. Go with that. Or that. Let's go with that. And clone. 38 by 14. Fill air. Tools portalize. Let's do some grass in there. Cool. Let's drop some trees in there. Editors, object hierarchy, physical, vegetation, trees. Let's do regular, old tree. Let's try tree 2. What that looks like. Can click the floor me button, which will level it. And let's check out that tree. I'm gonna toggle the lighting on and go into game mode. And you see the tree doesn't cast a shadow. So we need to fix that. Let's go to properties of that tree and check out render runtime object shadow check. Let's try that. Tools, portalize. Huh, still not. Let's see, do we need to do, let's try complete process. Alright, now we got a shadow of that tree that we can hide behind. Probably had to build a pathfinding for that. Alright, now that that casts a shadow, we can clone it. Clone that. Clone that. Got 4 trees in there. And now what we can do is hold shift and select all the brushes at once, clone them all at once, and drag them over on this side. Portalize. You can check out our world. Very cool.